Hey kids, welcome to the Joe Knows Podcast. I'm your host, Josiah Lundquist, and I'm excited for today's talk. Episodes will be released every Sunday until we get iTunes up and running. If you'd like to donate your fat stacks every paycheck you get, you can go to fundly.com. That's Fundly, FUNDLY.com, and search Joe Knows Podcast. All of the moolah given towards the show will go to new equipment, video capabilities, as well as future merchandise like t-shirts, hats, all of that good stuff. Thanks for listening, and as Cusco from Emperor's New Groove once said, I'll see you on the other side. Welcome to the Joe Knows Podcast.
Yes.
And this has been a very highly requested episode. I'm live on Instagram for anyone who wants to join in. I'm here with Zion, Magically.
I forgot
Dean.
about that name. God damn it.
Nah, I've been excited for this one. So with the podcast, good things have been coming up. I want to thank everyone who listened to the first episode. That was crazy. I think we're up to almost 220 views on the first episode, which is pretty crazy. I wasn't expecting that at all. So if you listen and you subscribe, you're true fans. You know what? Because we're a tribe here. We're a community of people. We're like the others in Lost, guys. If you subscribed and you're on Instagram and you're a follower on any social media platform at all, you're part of the tribe.
God damn it.
You know?
Lost was garbage.
You know. So I've been working on some t-shirt designs. I have two set up right now. I have one that I'm going to pay out of pocket for, because what I want to do is I'm going to do a little contest. So the three people who pay the most to the podcast, I'll send you one of the t-shirts. And when we get the store up and running, those won't be able to buy. You'll get them if I send them to you. So very exclusive t-shirts.
I'm buying it.
Yeah. So speaking of which, shout out to Therrell Dill for being the first one to pay into the podcast. And he paid a good amount, way more than I thought what I asked for or anything like that. So shout out to Thad. Second shout out goes to Braden Batson. I need you to change your outfit, Braden. Every time I see you, you're wearing the same thing. All right? And I'm sick of it. And if you need help looking at what fashion to wear, see my Instagram for details. So, all right, we're getting into this. I'm going off live now.
Do it.
So what's up, Zion?
What's up?
How have you been? I feel like everything I'm gonna ask you, I already know the answer to, because we kind of live together. Probably.
What? I don't know. I'm dying. I feel like I shouldn't cuss. I don't know why. I feel like I shouldn't cuss.
I mean, you can cuss, but you'll probably go to hell. So, I mean...
We're relaxed.
Just kidding.
No, I just want to stop. I don't know. I want to stop cussing in general.
Fine. I'm already disowned on this podcast again, so...
I'm all right.
Tell me about, when did you start writing music? Because I think that's something that a lot of people don't know you for.
Yeah.
Yet.
I used to post it on Instagram a lot, but... Okay, so I first started writing poetry, like, when I was in, like, I think my freshman year in high school. I don't know. It was like my mom, I love her to death, but she was really like, what's the word? She wasn't controlling, but she really didn't want me exposed to the world, I guess, because I grew up on a farm, and we were like really Christian, like gated off, and like almost like a pilgrimage type of thing. So it was like, I don't know. I never really knew the outside world. So when we moved to San Diego, it was like, boom, I just got exposed to everything. And she really didn't want me exposed. She wouldn't let me go out. She wouldn't let me hang with friends. I mean, the most that I ever got to do was jog down the street. And even when I did that, I would try to take as long as I can, just so I can, I don't know, absorb what the world was. And so me starting to write had a lot to do with that. I started writing a lot. And I don't know, I found myself sad. And not because of that, she wouldn't let me out, but I was just sad with myself. Because I feel like there was so much that I could be doing, but I didn't know how to do it or where to go to start doing things. So I just started writing. And I don't know, I felt like it was really good, and I wanted other people to see it. And I didn't know how to show people, so I posted it on my Instagram, my first one, and everybody loved it. I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. So I posted another one and another one and another one, and the feedback was really good. But people noticed that they started getting like really, really depressing, and people started reaching out to me, and I was like, oh no, it's just pure, you know. I mean, obviously it's what I was feeling, but I just felt like it was like that was me venting. That was my therapy, but it blew up to a point where when I was in my late sophomore year, we just transferred to this preppy rich school in Carlsbad, and somebody told the principal what I wrote. Like, they showed the principal, and like there was this huge meeting in there, and like they told my mom that something was wrong with me and that I should see a therapist and all types of stuff. I like broke down crying, and after that I kind of distanced myself from, I guess, publicly sharing my thoughts and feelings online. And I thought maybe I just won't show anything until like I actually make music and let people hear it. You know, I don't know. I feel like people wouldn't critique me as much that way. But yeah, I think when I moved to Tehachapi, I kind of posted a couple. I might have posted like one or two. Yeah. Just to see what people in Tehachapi would like.
I remember when we first met, that was all your Instagram consisted of was lyrics. Yeah. And they were really good, which was surprising.
I could see like my growth in them.
Yeah, because I remember when I first met you, that was all you wanted to talk about was
writing music and stuff.
Writing music. You wanted to be an artist, and I was like, okay, well, I feel like a lot of people want to do that. Mm-hmm. And so when I
hate that it's so saturated.
Yeah, so when I first followed your Instagram, I remember reading, and there are a couple that just like totally hit me emotionally because I was like, he actually has something going for him. It was just natural, you could tell. So, and there are times where I can remember you telling me you had a thought of what you wanted to write about, and the next day you had one posted, and it was just humongous line after line after line and after line.
I think I became obsessive with the writing process because what I'd do is I'd write everything out by hand on like a sheet of paper. I'd read over it and I'd correct. And I'd like, okay, I put it to the side, pull out another piece of paper, rewrite it, but as I was rewriting it, I would re-edit it. And I'd do that about 10, 15 times, and then next thing I know, 5 hours went by. And I know I just loved obsessing over that, and like, or I'd hear a beat in a song, and I'd be like, dang, I could really write something really beautiful with that. So I just start writing, and then, I don't know. I love getting hit with that kind of passion. That's probably like that's my favorite thing to do. Yeah. That'd be like one of my number one hobbies aside from video games or...
So what genre do you really want to fit in?
That's the thing. I don't know what genre. Like, you've heard me in the bathroom. I'm taking a shower listening to opera one night, and then the next night I'm listening to the most depressing music, and then the next night I'm listening to Waka Flocka. Yeah, like, yeah. I don't understand what's wrong with me or what I'm going through in my head, but I can't find a genre.
I think to be able to make good music, you have to be that way, though.
Yeah?
You can't be so...
tied down to a certain specific... Thing. I just hate this generic garbage that everybody listens to. I mean, I kind of feel like that's disrespectful to a lot of artists because, I mean, maybe they are putting their heart and that's all they know. Yeah. But I feel like, I don't know, what I want to be is something so different, but not, I don't know, I want to be accepted but different because there's like a lot of different artists that are like really good, but they aren't really appreciated. I think Kid Cudi is probably the most different and really appreciated. And still, there's a lot of people that don't know who he is, but he's still so big and kind of like this underground aspect, but...
Yeah. You can't not like him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I don't know. I just feel like, Jesus, I want to be something like that. I want my music to, every song I make, every word that comes out of my mouth, I really want a message for people.
Yeah. It's not just.
Yeah. I want to make music that heals you.
Yeah.
I mean, people usually make music because, I don't know, make you feel good. Mm-hmm. I want to make you feel good, but I want to heal your soul and your spirit at the same time. Yeah. So I'm really trying to, I don't know, I'm just trying to find how to do that right. And I really hate my voice on recording, like, really bad.
So do I. I remember when I did the first podcast, I was listening back. I couldn't.
You're like, good God.
I could only do it a couple times. I listened as hard as I could to find mistakes because...
Yeah, you replayed that over.
After a while, I couldn't listen to my own voice anymore. And that's just how it is. You can't change it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But your dream's your dream. And so...
I guess I gotta pursue it.
Yeah. So, but... Yeah, you're talented, dude. For real. And I'm excited to see what is the next step for you? What do you want to do next? Because you've written all this time.
I have so much written. I have like in my closet, there's like a little suitcase that I have and it's just full of paper. I've just written, but I don't know. I guess I'm like been really scared and I just got to put my foot out there and actually try and see what people think. I really think people like what I do. Because I had a couple of songs that I recorded, but I don't know. I really don't want to release anything until it's good because there's so many people releasing just music as fast as they can.
Yeah.
And I really want to... I'd rather work on a song for a whole year and have that song like the best song ever than to just work on a song for a month and then shoot it out. You know,
quality over quantity.
Yeah,
for sure.
I just really feel like I just want everything to be right.
Yeah,
I feel so. That's it, really. That's my whole writing. I just have to step on the mic, I guess.
Yeah. How do you think you'll do with performing ever?
That I have real bad stage fright, and that's really stupid coming from me because I'm like the most retarded person you could know. So I don't know why, but as soon as I get in front of more than 3 people, like my gut drops and I can't do it. But like I don't know,
you've seen me coming from you,
and that's kind of stupid because at school you'll see me.
Yeah, everyone who knows you would be like, I don't know, you know.
I'm so stupid, and
no,
I don't understand.
I swear by it. Like I don't think I've ever met someone who was so easy to just get along with off the bat. You make everyone in the room feel comfortable, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's because music I take really seriously. Mm-hmm. So the fact that I take it so serious, I'll get super nervous about it.
But that's a good thing. If you don't get nervous, I don't think you care enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And me being retarded, that's me not giving a Hoover damn.
I mean, that's politically incorrect to say retarded, but...
Yeah, it's just me not caring at all, so I just throw it all out.
Yeah,
yep. I just have to find that middle ground. Whoosh. Like right now, before this podcast, I was like shaking. I'm like, why am I shaking? That's what I wanted to smoke real quick because I was like, dude, my nerves are on edge. So why am I freaking out about this? I'm just sitting here on the couch talking to you. I don't know, dude.
You nervous, bro?
Shut up. I was. I'm just
because
I was just freaking
this is your first interview.
That's what legit. This is like my first time sitting down and having people ask me about.
So if you get a label opportunity because of this, I mean, you don't owe me your whole life.
Shut up.
But you do, right?
God damn it.
You know, if that did, I mean, you won't owe me your life, but I definitely,
I don't even think I would take, if somebody like came and offered me something for like a label, I've heard it's not right to take the first shout out that they give to you, I guess. The first reach out, you probably shouldn't take.
Yeah.
A lot of people take it because they're like, oh, dang, this is just my chance. But I feel like you should really sit on it and wait. Because they're probably like,
I think you have a good feeling. Let me go on the road with you, dude.
That's what I said. You're my manager.
I have a lot to bring.
You're my manager.
I can be I'll be everything. Manager, media person. I'll be your background singer. Why are you laughing, bro? Have you heard my pipes?
I've heard you in the shower, yes.
Yeah.
It wakes me up every morning at 7 o'clock.
It's incredible. You think I can't sing, dude?
I don't think you can.
I have glorious pipes, dude.
I don't think you do.
Every night I lie in bed.
And I'm walking away.
The brightest colors fill my head.
What are you singing? What is that?
A million dreams of life we're gonna make.
Is that a Caucasian man?
A million dreams of a world we're gonna make.
I'm not gonna sing along with you.
Now I have a question for you. Was Hugh Jackman just on my podcast?
What?
Or is that my pipes?
You're fucking... You're so stupid. I can't even. Was that from that movie?
Yeah.
What was it?
Greatest Showman.
I still haven't watched that.
You haven't seen it? It was actually
musical.
really good, not gonna lie.
I heard you and Hudson sing that thing like all the time. I was like, what is going on?
I don't like musicals very much. If I do, it's weird. It's super specific. Like, I think the only musical that I've actually really enjoyed and I could watch whenever or go to a live show was Phantom of the Opera. That's really good.
Still never heard of that.
It's good.
The last musical I watched was Anne. It's a Hard Enough Life. Yeah.
It's a hard knock life.
That song is my shit.
Please sing along.
I'm not singing it, but that song is my shit. Somebody like made a remix of it with like bass. Bro, that thing slaps so hard. I went hard to that song, but that's like the last musical that I'll accept. After that, I don't know. I'm going to start crying. I feel like I get emotional in a musical.
Yeah, Phantom of the Opera definitely hit me when I first went to see it live.
Yeah.
Because it's emotional. It's a really sad story. So there were definitely times because the people who sing live, it's so different than hearing it at headphones. Like you feel so much emotion when they hit those certain notes.
Jesus.
There's this part so the whole point of the story is there's this like he's deformed in the face, and he was part of a circus growing up, and so he was always like
The Hunchback of Notre Dame. What?
Kind of exactly the same thing. So he basically writes orchestras and stuff like that for this opera house kind of thing, and no one sees him, no one knows what he looks like, that kind of thing, because it's like underneath in the sewers, but he like can sneak around the whole opera house. It's like his, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And anyway, so there's this one opera girl who comes along.
Yeah.
And, like, she's just different than all the other girls. And he confronts her and wants to be her teacher, basically. And he falls in love with her. And he's trying to get her to fall in love with him. And she loves this other guy who's an opera singer as well. Or, like, I don't know if he's an opera singer. He's just a guy.
I just hit a little...
And
I hit home.
Yeah. And so he's trying to win her over, basically. And in the end, she leaves with the other dude. And there's this part where he's standing over on the roof of the opera house. And he says something like, "Anywhere you go, let me go too." And the way he says it live, oh my God, I was like instantly tearing up.
I should have sang that to Kyle.
And I had to look over to my mom and say, "No homo," but I'm crying from this guy's voice. And
bro, that's so sad.
And then they made the movie, and it's really good. It's a really good movie. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Greatest Showman's the same way.
How long ago did that come out?
Oh, it's old, dude.
Yeah.
And then they made the second part to it, and I went and saw that live. I don't think it was as good as the first one. It was still really good.
Bro, I'd cry.
Because it's like old school instruments, but they have like bass guitar and electric guitar mixed in and stuff. It's really cool. Andrew Lloyd Webber, I think, is the director. Or what is that called? The guy who does
He orchestrated it? The conductor.
Conductor, yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
But that's crazy. Like, every single sound he made in his mind and wanted it to come out. And he created that whole thing. That's crazy to me. Like, a genius.
Such a sad love story, too, though.
Totally. Yeah. Greatest Showman was cool. I cried at the very beginning, and it was like...
Legit?
Yeah, because the kid... You have to watch it, dude. Everyone's seen it, so I don't care about spoilers. But basically, he's poor. Him and his dad are poor, and his dad's a tailor for like rich families, and he drops a glass or something like that, and the rich dad like slaps the crap out of him, like right in front of his dad, and his dad can't do anything because like they're poor, and then the next scene is he's outside looking over at the beach, and the girl who's like his same age that he was looking at of the family, she comes out and he is crying or whatever, and she like comforts him, and they start singing together, and he takes her to this abandoned mansion, and it's all overgrown, and he's doing all these illusions with lights and stuff, and basically putting on the show for her. And it's really cool, and they grow up, and that's where that song I was just singing comes from. Wow. Because every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head.
It's depressing.
1,000,000 dreams of a life we're gonna make. Yeah,
I feel like that's a really depressing movie.
It's good. It's really good. It's actually a happy one.
Is it long?
I don't know. It's average for a movie. It's a movie, so yeah. I hope they make it live. And then they did a new album where it's like real artists covered it, all the different songs.
Seriously?
Like Panic at the Disco did the intro song.
No way.
Yeah, it's cool. Pink did that song that I was just singing, I think. Yeah, it's cool. Reimagined, I think, if you want to go search it on Spotify or whatever. I may have to turn the volume up. Because it's funny, like when we're talking, I can see it's not very high, but when you laugh, it skyrockets. So we're gonna figure that out.
Fix it. Oh, damn, dude. Right,
so I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of hurt. You hurt my feelings.
Because of what? That you can't sing?
No, because you haven't donated.
Bro, I'm broke. I look rich, but I'm fucking broke.
You haven't donated, dude.
What do I look like?
Do you want this podcast to fly? Because I do.
Say my podcast, Negro.
That's what you're going to call your podcast? The Negro podcast.
Jesus.
That'd be funny.
I forgot your mom.
I feel like your podcast would be hilarious.
Me?
Yeah, that would be freaking great.
I have to totally be in my comfort zone. So that's me sitting in boxers in front of my TV with a mic in front of me.
There you go. While you're playing Xbox. And you're listening to ASMR in headphones.
Yes.
All at the same time.
Hello, everybody. This is another,
Oh, you want me to type?
Zion ASMR. Tap the mic. We're going to start with some gentle ear licking. Okay. Everybody, please just turn up the volume in your headphones really quick. Here it comes. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to lick your ears. I know some people cringe so hard to that shit. That shit fucking puts me... I get a boner. Listen to ASMR.
Oh, I'm going to have to edit this out.
Don't edit this out. Well, okay. No, your mom's going to listen to this.
Yeah. Hi, Mom.
Sonia, stop. Just stop. Don't listen to
this. My grandma's probably listening to
it. No.
My uncles.
Oh, this gotta go. This gotta
Everyone.
go.
I'm disowned, so it's okay. No, it's actually my
Jesus.
two of my aunts. They messaged me
What?
like after the first episode.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, here we go.
Oh no.
But not because I expected them to bash it. I was just like, anyone who's like my family, I'm like,
They're gonna be brutally
I'm
honest.
interested to see how they perceive me doing a podcast.
Definitely gonna be brutally honest.
And that's what I thought. And they were super, super nice, super supportive. A lot of people, like, I got easily like 100 messages.
Well, it's because you found something that you're really like that you're passionate about. Yeah. Finally, and it's like something that you really think you can stick with.
Yeah,
and it brings you joy. Then do it.
Yeah, if you shot me a message, I'm really thankful. That was awesome. And really boosted my confidence and makes me want to keep going. You know.
He talked about it like 1,000 times to me. I'm sitting there like, please, Joe, I heard you the first time. I'm just kidding. I love you. I support you. I'm happy you found something too. I'm saying this is me messaging you. I messaged you in person because you come and tell me. I'm like, dude, that's actually pretty dope. That people actually are like into it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, my Aunt Heidi. Shout out to Aunt Heidi if you're listening. I told her she would like this episode.
Who's that?
Aunt Heidi. She's my dad's sister. I don't know if you met her.
No.
She's tall.
I haven't met that side of your family, or no. I've met all your mom's side of the family. Gotcha. I only saw your grandma. That's your dad's side, right? Your neighbor?
Yeah.
Your neighbor.
Yeah.
I think I only saw her. I've never even really spoken to her before either.
But she was like, I would never disown you. I was like, that's hilarious.
Dope.
It's okay, though.
I was waiting for a Chris D'Elia reference to come up right there. I don't know
this
why.
This is my podcast, dude. And even if I did, it wouldn't make a dent. Wouldn't make a dent.
You guys have to watch that. They don't even know what we're talking about.
Congratulations, podcast. Shout out Chris D'Elia. That's a hilarious podcast. He's honestly who really wanted me to get to do it.
I'm about to say, you listened to him for a long time. Like, every time like he came in out from work, I'd hear Chris D'Elia's voice. I'm like, Jesus, this man listened to him more than I listened to him. I like only watched that one comedy special.
Yeah, a lot of people just know him for his stand-up. I love his podcast. It's funny. It's really, he's just funny. He's one of those people that anything he says is just like you
outrageous.
Yeah,
he doesn't care. He pisses off the whole world.
Yeah, that's funny. Did you see the Logan Paul beef he got into? Oh my gosh, on Twitter. So you know how Logan Paul did the whole hit where he messed up?
Oh yeah.
Where he like filmed. So basically, if you don't know, Logan Paul is a famous like YouTube vlogger, and he did this vlog where he went to this like Japanese suicide forest. Where there's like actual like hanging bodies, and he filmed it and put it on YouTube. Anyway, so he got a lot of hate.
You said that's so cliche.
He got hate.
Bro, hold on.
So he put on Twitter, this was a while back, but he put on Twitter saying like, my last vlog, it's important. Please watch.
Oh my gosh.
And Chris D'Elia replied, no, it's not. Like, it's not important. Like, he said, no, it's not, period. And so Logan Paul replied with like a ton of laughing faces. He said, now I see why your comedy career took a dive.
Oh.
And
why is he beefing with Chris?
So Chris D'Elia says back, and this is so savage. This is the most savage thing I've ever seen on Twitter. He says, at least when my comedy career dies, you can film it and put it on YouTube.
He said that?
Yeah. Dude, I died.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
He put on his podcast, he was talking about it, and the whole time he's like, I'm a comedian, dude. Like, that's what we do. That's part of the job is to deal with hecklers.
Yeah.
He said, so if you're going to come at me, you were asking. Jesus. He's like, you're asking to get sauteed. I'm going to put you on the barbecue. It was so funny. He's playing like Clap Back, like by J. Rule.
Oh my god.
J. Rule in the back. I'm going to clap back. We going to clap back. We going to clap back. We going to clap back.
He's so damn dumb. Jesus.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's my favorite podcast. Fighter and the Kid's good one too, because Chris D'Elia's episodes on Fighter the Kid are the funniest thing on. It's my favorite thing to listen to. I can't tell you how many times I've watched the episodes over and over and over again because they're just funny. Would it make a dent?
I've literally heard. I feel like I've listened to every podcast that you've listened to because that's so loud. I'm just sitting there listening. Like, what is he talking about? Just listen to him. It's the most random, absurd things.
Yeah, it's funny. When you were talking about what you play like in the shower, which we have such thin walls in this apartment. You can hear everything.
I heard Josiah crying in his room, guys.
Shout out Claire.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Oh.
I'm probably going to edit that out.
Oh, don't edit that.
No,
leave that
I'm
in.
going to leave it. It's fine.
He said I'm going to leave it. Shout out Claire. That hurt. You were crying. Ouch, you started crying. I was like, damn, dude, this hurts. Why am I crying? I wanted to come knock on your door and ask
I
you
don't cry.
I could have spooned you.
So when I do cry, it's like, why is this podcast getting sad all of a sudden?
Because
this is supposed to be a happy podcast.
You said thin walls. Usually when people refer to thin walls, there's really some sad things going on,
Thin
or somebody
walls.
else's.
That's a song title. Thin Walls.
Why are you going there? Trying to change the subject? Let me get sad on you real quick.
Okay.
Let me pull some depressing stuff out of my box.
Okay, do it.
I'm just kidding. I don't want to do that. I'm such a sad case. I hate that that's what my Twitter's theme is. It's all because of that woman.
You love it, dude.
Huh?
You love it.
I don't. I tweet it because I'm sad.
You want it to be that way.
I don't want it to be that way.
No,
I used to retweet really funny stuff.
No, I'm not. I used to go through that phase of like just sad boy
My whole
stuff.
feed is just depressed.
I went through that too, yeah.
I went and scrolled through it. I was like, oh. Ooh, nobody really told me. Remember that video I posted when I was like venting?
That was good.
That was like a real dark.
That made me cry. And then my sister, she messaged me and she said it.
Nobody really came to me and told me how it affected them. Totally. I just saw the views going up and I was like, oh God, people are actually watching this.
Here's what I like about you, and this is why I know people are going to like your music, is because you've experienced literally almost everything life has to throw at a teenager. Like, so everyone will be able to relate to you. And that's what was cool about that video is I'm going to retweet it on the podcast page so people know what it is. But it's basically, you're saying it was like your message to the universe about how
love affects us.
Yeah, you talk about it. You're the one that said it.
That was like the lowest I've been. Not to get on like some really, really dark suicidal thing, but that was like the lowest I'd been. I'd gone out there. Well, damn, this is like a confession now. I'd gone out there. I went. It was like my day off. It was like a week before, 2 weeks before, and I was like, on Tuesday the 10th, this is gonna be it. This is gonna be whether I decide if I'm gonna live or die. And then I don't know. And literally on the Tuesday the 10th, my work gave me that day off, and I was like, is this a sign or something? So I was like, okay, well, might as well. So I woke up early that morning, like 6 or 5. I packed my backpack up with stuff, and I went out there and I sat there in like this middle of this field, huge field, and you can't see anything. I think it was like over there by the highway. I just sat there in the middle of the field, and I just sat there for about 2 hours. I smoked a cigarette. I don't know. I just sat there just thinking, and I was like, I really feel like if I do something to myself, I feel like I really need to talk, and I don't know, explain what hurts and why it feels like something is just like trying to rip out of my chest, and I feel like I just need to claw it out, but I know I couldn't only do that without hurting myself. Yeah. So I recorded that, and I had actually recorded a 10-minute thing, but it like cut off right at the perfect 2 minutes. It kind of sounded like, I don't know, it was like really like a perfect stop.
Yeah, the piano ending and everything.
Yeah, like that's when it stopped.
You did that.
Yeah, that's when
I don't think a lot of people knew that. Like the music.
Yeah,
did.
that was me.
Yeah.
But it stopped right then. I don't know if that was like maybe because after that I started crying, getting really emotional and everything that I was saying, and I looked at my phone when I was done, and I was like, it actually stopped recording. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, more like the last 7 minutes, I said some really, really. I feel like a lot of people are related to what I said, but like it was really, really personal and private. I feel like I don't know if that was a sign for God, like
you enough. Said what you needed to say.
I said enough.
What people need to hear.
What people needed to
from
hear
your heart,
and I feel like maybe that's what that was. And it stopped really at a perfect part too, because after that I really went out of control. And then after that I don't know. I felt like some type of clearness.
No, you've gotten better, for sure.
Yeah.
As far as
it really only hits me at night.
Yeah.
I guess when you're alone. Like at work, I'm so grateful for work because everybody there just talks to me all the time, and they know I hate that they know me already, and they know that when I'm quiet, something's wrong. Because some days I go into work and I'm like, dang, I really just don't want to talk, and then I get people coming rubbing my back. Dude, Zion, what's the matter, dude? I'm like, why? Why is something wrong? And I said, you aren't loud. I don't hear your laugh in the bathroom. I'm like, bro, you don't even know me. I've only been working here for 2 months, but they already know that if I'm not screaming or running around or throwing something at somebody across the kitchen, then something's wrong with me. So now, I mean, there's no escaping that already. Yeah. And like, I told my manager, my boss, Michelle, I told her what was going on with me, and she was telling me how stupid I was. She's like such a mom to me, and I don't know, her whole family's like, they come in there and they all give me hugs. I feel like she might have told them something, and they all treat me like family. It's like really cool. I don't know. She's been like, she's probably, I love you. You've been supportive too, but I like really vented to her because I felt like she was a stranger, and I like to see you every day, and you know what was going on through my head, and I was like, she's just somebody at work, so I just tell her, and I like vented to her, and then she started crying in front of me, and I was like, oh my gosh, never mind, this is gonna hit harder than it would if I just told Joe.
Yeah.
And yeah, ever since then, she always just come up and asking me how am I doing and all kinds of stuff. She was trying to hook me up with her daughter because she said we just need to fix it. Let's just fix it. I was like, I'm fine. Just, I don't know. With time, it heals, they say. But like honestly, I don't know. I haven't healed. I've just grown extremely numb, and I hate that I've grown numb. And I often find myself trying to remind myself of the pain of how much it hurts to lose somebody that you really care about. I keep on trying to remind myself because I just don't want to forget what that feels like.
Yeah.
No, because once you forget, I don't know. I know you learn from your past mistakes or, I don't know, losses, but I just want to remember because, and then that's me. Whenever I'm in like one of my darkest moments, I get really inspired to do some music. And I hate that we need heartbreak for inspiration. That's where most music comes from. Yeah, it's something tragic happening to your life.
That's why people, like, a lot of the people who grew up poor from the project.
Right. And they all end up coming up with all this, I don't know, busting out of them, all this life. I hate that we need heartbreak in hard times just to be
motivated.
Yeah. But I guess maybe if you didn't have that, you wouldn't be motivated to do anything because you've always had it.
Yeah.
Dang.
You go to college and do your, which there's nothing wrong with that. Like some people, I feel like that's what they really want to do is go to school and get a diploma or whatever. And like, I'm just not that way.
It's not me. I tried it.
I would hate it. I would drive myself crazy. And I know the moment I got through school and I got my diploma and I managed to find a job with my diploma,
you're going to hate it.
The moment I sat down, I'd be like, what am I doing? Because I know it's not who I am, you know? So that's really, I feel like I'm going to be the person who...
Did you finish school?
No.
I remember you came to my apartment to sleep over like every night before school, and there were some days when you just say, I'm not going to go. I'm like, and Josiah, you drove all the way to Bakersfield to go to school early. Or like to get like a little extra hour of sleep, and then you're not gonna go. Yeah, no. I was like, you're crazy.
I hated it, dude. It just because I changed my major so many times because I just didn't know exactly
what you wanted to do.
And then it finally clicked to me like it doesn't matter what I studied, I would still hate school. It doesn't like that's not. There's not a major out there for me. I'm just not meant to get a diploma and get a job because of my diploma, which kind of sucks because now it's almost every good job that requires you to have a diploma
and experience.
Yeah,
2 years of experience.
Yeah, but I think I'll either be the type of person to create my own thing and be my own boss, and hopefully be lucky.
Manager of my music.
There you go. Or
I'd really want you to be a part of that.
Yeah,
you more than anybody else, because nobody else. I don't know. I feel like nobody else knows me.
Yeah,
as much as you do, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, don't do drugs, dude. No.
Damn it.
No, going back to the whole video thing, you said something that was important. You said if you were going to do anything to yourself, you had to talk. And I think that's important from people that I've talked to who are just, they don't understand depression. They don't understand what it feels like to want to not be here anymore. You know what I mean? Because it's not, people think of like suicide. If you don't understand, they see it as cowardice, like being a crappy person because you would do that to other people. And the point is that you know that.
You know it.
You're not doing it for attention.
You're not trying to hurt other people.
No, not at all. That's the last thing you want to do.
Sometimes it just feels easier.
Yeah, but it's a lot of people do though. Just they take their life without really even giving the universe a chance to even hear them out. You know what I mean? And
that was me.
That was important that you did that because
I probably wouldn't be here if I didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't say what I needed to say like that either.
Because there's a lot of people out there who feel just like you do, and they are afraid to voice their opinion. That's really why I started this podcast. Is I know I have so much stuff that's just built in that I would love to just talk about, even if I don't even know who I'm speaking to.
Right.
But I just want to speak my mind about certain topics like this. I never came into this thinking, I want to talk about this kind of topic on my podcast, but it's important to talk about. A lot of people need to hear it, especially people who don't understand what it feels like to be depressed.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
I feel like everybody knows what depression is, or everybody's had a taste of it.
Everyone's had sadness.
It just really affects people differently.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson, he's I don't know what to really call him, but he's a professor, but he basically he studies why people do certain things, if that makes sense. So he was talking about, I was listening to him talk about depression, and he was saying that sadness and depression are completely different things, and some people get that confused. Like there's a difference between having a crappy life and being depressed. And he was saying, like, if you, like, there's a 13-year-old who has a great life, great supportive family, that kind of thing, supportive parents. He's not poor, but he wants to take his life. And he said, and then there's a woman who has lived her best life, has the most successful, job, opportunity, all that kind of stuff, and she loses her husband. And she wants to take her life because now she has nothing left. He says there's a big difference between those two. There's a big difference between having unfortunate circumstances and having depression. Because it's been proven now, depression can come from like inflammation, even stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's weird. It's just a mental. Your chemistry's off. So I always take the opportunity if people talk to me about depression or whatever to just be open, because it's important to know, because
I just feel like my head is just so, excuse my language, it's just so fucked.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I can bring it back.
Yeah.
But I always feel like I've always lost my mind. I lost my mind a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm just bipolar. That's my problem. Like one day I can
think I'm bipolar too, but I just, when I think about something, it totally just flips me.
Yeah, I'm manic. So in a way of one day I can be perfectly fine and love life, and the next day I just hate it. And nothing could have happened in that time frame. You know what I mean? It's just a give or take thing.
Right.
And that's what's rough, is like I have no idea what I'm going to feel like tomorrow. And that's what sucks.
A dream can mess you up. I think I told you that one time I had a dream about what happened. Yeah. And I woke up. I wasn't even awake yet. I just my consciousness and my mind just kind of woke up. I didn't even open my eyes. I literally, out of my mouth, I said, God, why would you make me see that?
Yeah.
Then I opened my eyes, and my whole day was just a decline of just shit rolling down the hill. It was so bad, and I hated that. I literally, before I could open my eyes to start my day, before I could wake up and take my first conscious breath of air, I was just already having a hammer beating inside of my head. And it's gosh.
No, I've had dreams like that too. Yeah.
I just hate how just the small thing can affect me, and I just hate that.
Yeah.
But I love it, because that means that I can still feel. That's what I mean by I keep on trying to remind myself of the pain and that I'm still alive, and I'm not just growing numb to it. Yeah. Because that's my greatest fear, is just to go numb when something happens to you and you just shrug, because you're like, oh, I was expecting that. Oh, it's nothing new. That's why I really don't want to feel. I want everything that happens in my life to impact me to the max, whether it be the good thing or the bad thing. As long as I never want to forget. That's me in my stupid head. I just never want to forget what that felt like in that situation. Yeah. All the good times, all the bad times. I just want to remember that, so I can always, I don't know, I feel like it builds me up or builds me down. It builds me in a way, as long as I'm progressing. Yeah. What really helped me get out of it when I'm in a really bad dip is I think of life as just one big happiness journey. And everybody's on a big happiness journey. And I always like to say, you can be a complete psycho serial killer guy, but you're doing that because it makes you happy. So it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. The whole point of living is to be happy before you're gone. That's some crazy shit. So that's real. So what helped me was looking at people in that way. If I could do anything, even if it just meant smiling at somebody, that heightens their chances of finding whatever that happiness is to them for that day. You know what I mean? Right. Even if you break it down to just a day, if every day is the point to go to sleep happy because of I succeeded something today, or something happened today that made this day a good day. That's the whole point of living, honestly. Right. Put everything else aside, jobs,
families, love, relationships, that none of that matters. All that matters is I want to go to bed happy, you know, and you wake up and it's just a restart. So that's what really helped me was I love talking to homeless people. It's one of my favorite things ever. The other, just yesterday, I was outside, I was smoking, and this guy on a bike came up, and he was obviously homeless. And he was like, hey, I hate to ask, but can I have a cigarette? And I was like, oh, yeah, for sure, no problem. I was like, I don't need them. Like, honestly, I don't. So I gave him a cigarette, and I always tell myself, if I ever give a homeless person something, I always ask what their story is. And some of them are super open to talking. Some of them are like, what? What do you mean? What's my story? But I always do it because, and I've had some crazy stories that totally make my life, it makes you look at your life so differently. Like, so this guy, he comes up, and I say, what's your story? And he's lighting it, and he's like, my story. I said, yeah, why are you here right now? And he's like, well, I've been homeless since I was 18. He said, I was about to move out, and I saw my stepdad shoot my mom. And
Jesus.
I was too old to be put into an adoption, and I've been homeless ever since. And I said that, and I was filled with emotion because I find myself complaining so much about bullcrap. Mm-hmm. And I can't even picture that happening to me. You know what I mean? Like, that would absolutely crush me. And
totally shatter your reality.
You know? And even that guy who has nothing to live for, basically, and he's still here. And that really helped me be like, my problems aren't crap.
They really aren't compared.
It was funny though. So it's sorry to be a downer right now, but so it was funny though. So he's as he was leaving, he's like, I can't find a freaking job, dude. And I was like, oh man, yeah, I know. And he was like, and he's a white guy. I noted that. And he says, look, and he pulls his sleeve up. He's like, and he points at his skin, and he's like, I'm the wrong color, dude. No one wants to hire me.
What?
And he rode off into the sunset. I was like, what?
Oh goddamn! All right, he's homeless. Never mind. Let that fly.
Yeah.
I don't know. See, then I don't know the kind of respect you have for homeless people. I don't know. I never could have that.
No.
I think it's because I don't know if anybody ever knew this, but here it comes. I think I've told you, but I was homeless at a time. I think a lot of people maybe they say they've been homeless before, but no one was really homeless. Like, we lived with my cousin, and this is when we first moved to San Diego from Florida, and we lived with her because my mom took care of my cousin's mom. And then she passed away. And my mom and my cousin hated each other. Like, they just constantly argue. And once my great aunt passed, or my aunt, she passed, she kicked us out. Just said, get out. Just like that. We just came from across the entire United States. We don't know anybody over here but her. So we ended up literally, I'm not even kidding, walking down the street. Like, that kind of thing. And like, it's like, what do you do? I could tell my mom was about to lose her mind because you're walking around with 3 kids, and where are you gonna go? That was the scariest. I've never been so scared in my life. I was scared, and I was with my family, and I was just freaking out. And yeah, I don't know, but my mom did it. I don't know how she did it. We found like this random homeless shelter that's it's called Solutions for Change, and like they took us in, and it was like specifically they wanted really women and their kids. And when we first went in there, it was like the homeless shelter like you see on TV. You go in there and there's just bunk beds and kids screaming all over the place. I mean, it was just insane. And like I broke. I think I lost a part of myself or who I used to be, because after seeing that and having to live in that for about we lived there for like maybe 5-6 months in that situation. Bunk beds. I mean, I'll roll over. I'm looking at somebody's face. I roll over. I'm looking at somebody else's face. And it was really, I don't know, it drilled something in my head that I will never let it get this bad again for me. No matter what, I'm going to fight so that I'm okay. And I don't know, it kind of made me selfish, but it kind of, I don't know, it built some type of shell around me. So when I see homeless people, I see it like you actually let that shit happen to you and you're not doing anything about it but sitting on the curb asking somebody for money. So I don't know, I see it like I saw my mom do it, and that's a mom with 3 kids, and you're by yourself, and your bum ass isn't getting up to go and try to do something. At least I see some homeless people trying to hustle, and I'm like, dang, I can respect that, and I respect them doing that. But when I see some bum just sitting there, just being a jackass, I'm like, hell no, I'll beat the hell out of you. I don't know, it's so disrespectful, but it's like, I just hate the fact that even though you're homeless, you can do it. But the fact that you won't do it and you're just going to sit there and just let your life run away, it just drills me. So when you tell me you give a homeless person money, I'm like, why would you do that? I don't know. And it just totally, it just totally messes with my mind because I've been in there and I saw my mom. We went from the bottom and we just kept on rising and rising and rising until we ended up living in the richest part of San Diego, Carlsbad, where the richest people live, everybody driving Teslas. And my mom is over there paying rent. Like, how did she do that? And literally over the process of 4 years, we went from a homeless shelter with nothing to having everything again. And I was so in awe. Like, I admire my mom so much.
Yeah, your mom's a beautiful soul. I love when you post stuff about her. It just makes my day so good. She's great. She's awesome.
So I just can't. That's the reason when you say some shit about homeless people, when you see me get like kind of.
I just have a good feeling. Like, I don't help everyone. Mm-hmm. Like, some people I'm like, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then other people, you just have a good spiritual feeling about that person, and you're like, I want to talk to this guy. Not even so much like, I want to see if I can help. It's just like, I want to have a conversation. Sometimes I won't give him anything. I just talk. Because I work in gas stations all day. So I see
of course,
a lot of them, So even if it's just going in and going up and be like, hey, do you guys want water? I'm going inside. Do you want water? Just something like that. Yeah. And like, if I do that, I say, what's your story? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, such a nice soul.
And I almost never have cash on me. And like, I notice sometimes like I'll get home and I have no more cash in my wallet because I'm just like, but it's not because I'm not like doing it for, I'm not doing it for myself. You know what I mean? Some people do it because they want to say, I helped the homeless person today.
Karma kind of thing.
No, I don't do it for that. I do it because I know me doing that is going to help me grow as well.
Oh, and you.
You know what I mean? Like I said, every time I have that experience, it's humbling. So when I'm complaining, whatever, I just think, oh, remember that conversation you had with that person? And I like my job too because a lot of the time I'm throwing out like expired stuff.
Right.
That goes expired that day, so it's not even bad. You know what I mean?
And you hook it up.
And it's going in the garbage. So I'll take a few of them, and I always just have them in my car. Just because there's some people that just want food, and you just give them. Even if I'm driving by and I just put it out the window, that kind of stuff. Say God bless, that kind of thing.
I used to do that too, and I worked at Rite Aid. Probably gonna not get hired again for saying this, but I used to do that a lot. We throw out so much stuff, but it wouldn't expire until like maybe a month. But we had to get rid of it because we got new stuff, and I'm like, I'm not about to throw this all away.
Yeah,
and they like try to force to watch you throw it away. I'd like tuck it in the corner somewhere. Yeah. I'd go outside. I'm like on my way home. It's the sketchiest walk home, but I'd see homeless people all the time. I'd be like, here, dog. I'm like, oh, thanks. I don't know. I'm nice. Yeah. I think I'm nice, but it's just, I just don't like to see them begging.
Yeah. My most favorite homeless person story, I was in downtown Bakersfield with a couple people, and we were just walking around, and this lady comes up, and she was like a heavy set, like black lady, and she comes up and she's pushing a wheelchair, and there's nothing in it. Like, usually people are pushing wheelchairs. If you see them with wheelchairs, they have like bags and bags of stuff. She had nothing, and I was like, what the heck? And she says, hey, I'm so sorry to stop you guys. You're having like a fun evening or whatever, but could you call me a taxi? And I was like,
I remember you told me this.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, yeah, for sure, of course. And so we're calling, and we're calling all these taxi companies. Are like, oh, we don't come for this area, we don't come to that. So we're calling all these companies, and we finally get one. In the meantime, I'm trying to figure out how to get Uber on my phone, like just all this stuff to help this lady out. So in the meantime, we're talking, and she has said she had just come from a hospital or like some type of medical place, and they gave her this medication, and her it's like she wasn't reacting well to it, and they made her leave. And like she said, her like feet were swelling in her shoes, and she couldn't walk anymore. That's why she had the wheelchair and everything. So I was like, oh my gosh, like what the heck? Who does that?
Right.
And so she's sitting down. She's like, I'm so sorry. Like I have to sit down. Like my feet are killing me. I was like, no, it's fine. And so I don't really remember. This is a while back. And I'm thinking to myself, I was like, if I lived here, I would do whatever it took for this lady. because she was just beautiful lady, and didn't look like she should be in that position. And she was just telling me how she didn't have anyone. Like, she didn't know anyone. She had no family there. Like, just... And, like... So, taxi pulls up. And I open my wallet to see if I had any cash. And at first, I was like, I don't even think I have any cash. And I opened my wallet. And I remember that, like, the day before, I had pulled, like, $200 to get a tattoo. Because you have to pay cash. And so I had it in my wallet, and I was already like, I don't really want to know what I want to get for a tattoo anyways. So I had this cash, and I would just like, I just had a good feeling like, I don't need this. I don't need this money. So I just pulled it. I like folded it, and I just like put it in her hand and closed it. And I said, I want you to take this. Please don't spend it all in one place. Use it to get yourself back on your feet. No pun intended. Like, and I made her laugh, and she starts crying, and she just bawling, and she's like, "Will you please pray for me?" And I said, "Of course." And like, I at that time, and you know, I was kind of on the iffy with the whole religion thing, you know. So I was like, I don't even know how to really pray for this lady. I was like, okay, and so I did. I prayed over her, and she's crying. She's holding my hand, and so I stopped praying, and she just looks in my face, and she's like, "You're so beautiful. You have such a beautiful face." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." She's like, if I could talk to your mom right now and tell her what a good job she did, I would do it." And I was like, "Yeah, of course." So she gets in the taxi, and I haven't seen her again. And she didn't have a phone, so I couldn't have like gotten her number. I totally would have and checked in on her every once in a while.
What a beautiful spirit.
But I wish I still lived, or I had lived there. I would have done anything for her, given her rides, helped her get a job. Like, just that, I've never had that connection with somebody in that predicament like that.
Wow.
Yeah, that was crazy. But same thing. Like, I have my own place, and I have my own car that runs just fine, and I complain so much when I could be in that situation. And I think, and this is like, if I was in that situation, I would hope that someone wouldn't want to just like, here, take my money. They would want to ask what my story is, you know?
Yeah.
You know?
Jesus.
I thought this podcast was going to be funny as hell. And
I told you it ain't going to be funny. I told you I'm not a night person. I told you if you wanted a funny podcast. Puncast.
That's a good name. Damn it, Puncast.
You got to record me in the morning, because at nighttime, like right when it hits 5 o'clock, my body just shuts down. I don't know why I get like pissed. I'm so bipolar.
I'm the opposite. That's why I always bug you.
You always come home and I'm like
pissed at work all day and want to not be at work all day
because you're not a morning person.
I'm like, Zion!
We totally flip as soon as like you get home. Yeah. That's when I get fucking mad.
I come in blasting Machine Gun Kelly, and
I'm like, this nigga again. God damn it! I just put my head back and just go. As soon as I hear you come up the stairs, I'm like, oh, here he comes.
Look at me, hey.
I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah.
I love you though. Don't worry.
So I have one request from you. Can you just tell everyone listening how fresh I look right now?
You're wearing an orange shirt. Are those like dark green joggers?
Yeah, they're like baggy joggers.
He's wearing some Flower Boy shoes.
Golf floors.
Them things is expensive. I wanted a pair, but
they have
I didn't
orange bottoms, so they match the shirt.
Shut up.
I'm just saying.
I wanted a pair, but I didn't want to sound jealous, so I let it slide. But I've worn them. When you went home, I put them on my feet because I wanted them so bad.
They're comfortable.
They're soft.
They're really soft.
I think you left them out in the living room, and I was like, slipped the ball. I was like, yes. But
no, they're great. I love them. They're like they're one of them shoes. And Jordans are the only shoes I wear that like just make you like you know when you played football and the better you dress, you know, the better you play. Did you ever experience that?
I always dress homeless because it's like that homeless kid. Damn, that homeless kid's fast as hell.
I would have to, even if it was just practice or whatever.
I see kids that dress fly and they're garbage. I dress like when I first started playing football, I wore these heavy cleats. I wore lineman cleats.
Oh, really?
And I was still like fast as heck. And
I was garbage, but just something about it boosts your confidence a little bit, you know? Where you just
because you got people looking
feel
at you.
good, you know?
Feel good.
So, but it's the same thing. That's how I feel about these shoes. Is like they just make my day good, regardless. You just put these on. You just press Flower Boy from start to beginning, and you just walk.
Why don't you wear them to work? You'd have a good day at work.
No, they get thrashed.
Rude. I still wear your work shoes. I forgot about that. The Nikes.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, okay.
They fit my feet weird. I have tiny ankles. That's the problem. So they fit my ankles
that sounds
weird.
Disgusting.
I have tiny ankles.
Who says that out loud? Keep that to yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a confession.
Yeah.
I have tiny ankles. Tiny ankles.
Oh.
I could do ASMR.
No, you couldn't. Because
Yeah,
I really
could.
want to throw up after hearing that. That was so bad. Ladies and gentlemen.
Let me smack my lips a little bit.
That was disgusting.
Have you noticed yet that there's stuff in your stocking? I put stuff in your stocking because I'm a good roommate. And Han Solo stocking over there, that's mine, is completely empty.
I told you that I haven't been in the Christmas spirit yet. I hate that I'm not in it. I usually like December 1st, I'll start blasting Christmas music. But I haven't done it yet. You just
did the, what's that dance?
What dance that is?
Orange Justice?
That's
what it is?
Fortnite. I'll start blasting Christmas music. But I haven't done that yet. I don't think I am. It's weird how you get older and like you just totally detach from it.
My tree is so sad.
It is.
It is. I have 3 ornaments. A star that you were supposed to put up.
I was looking forward to putting it up when I got home.
No,
that
you
night.
didn't.
When I was coming home, I was like, dude, I can't wait to actually. I told you. You said that Crystalia thing. I'll help you a little bit. A little bit. I was like, they're putting it up. Like, damn, I totally want to do it, but like, nah, they're over there being smoochy. So I was like, nah, I'll stay here. I know.
Now I gotta edit that out.
Nope, smoochy. He said I gotta edit that out. Just leave it in. It's your life, unless she's listening to it.
She probably is.
Yeah, you know she is. But oh god.
Shout out. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't do it. But I was like, yeah, I can't wait to go home and put the star up on the tree. And I got home and like I turned on the light. I turned my flashlight, looked, saw the star on the tree. Just put my phone down. I was like, oh. I went in my room depressed. That hurt a little bit.
I can't score white girls on Tinder.
Why are you? Here we go.
I don't know what it is.
I want to find a companion, but I don't want to find somebody on Tinder because I feel like that's just
like
meet me.
But the thing is
my meat.
If there's a Mexican girl that comes up, I'm matching. And I love you. If you're a Latina mamacita listening right now, I love you. I appreciate you so much. So no, I just keep swiping on me because I'm gonna keep matching with you.
Oh.
All you Latina mamacitas.
Oh.
But no, anytime a white girl comes up, I have no standards now. I'll be like, and I swipe.
It's a rare breed.
Never match ever.
I've never matched with anybody other than black people. I think I matched with one white girl, and she blocked me. I was like, what? I didn't even say hi to you yet.
Just she clicked the unmatch.
Yeah, I was like, what? That's wild. Am I that ugly? I looked at my pictures. I was like, that's not that bad, is it? I was gonna ask you for advice. I was like, nah, I'm fine. Nope, only match with black girls.
Oh, dude, so
heavyweights.
The other day, I forgot to screenshot it, but I found a girl on there, and she was obviously a girl, but it said in her bio she said non-binary. Do you know what that means? So it's like basically you wake up and you're like, I'm gonna be a boy today, and then the next day you can wake up and be like, I feel like I'm gonna be a girl today. And you have to, like, you will be offended if someone calls you he or she and they can't, like, are you assume, like, though that's what non-binary is. So she says she's non-binary and asexual, which means you're not attracted sexually to anybody. Mm-hmm. Why are you on Tinder? What are you trying to find? It was so weird. I was so confused.
What is that?
I'm saving that. I have so many Tinder chicks screenshotted to talk about when Gus comes on, because he told me, he's like, I want to talk about Tinder chicks.
You and Gus is just going to be that's going to be a disaster. I just want to sit right there and just listen, because, oh my God.
I have so many.
It's gonna be hilarious. I can't wait.
No, I'm on Tinder because I'm bored. Like I don't think I don't think I've ever hung out with a girl I met on Tinder. No, I have.
Bored.
Maybe
You
two.
fell asleep at one time.
I didn't meet her on Tinder though.
No,
I met her outside a grocery outlet. She gave me her number.
she was. Oh,
Shout out
right.
Miracle.
Yeah, she worked at the grocery outlet.
Yeah, she's sweet. She's awesome.
We watched the movie. Joe said, "Hey guys, let's watch this movie." I was like, "Okay." I walked away from my Xbox. You know how hard it is for me to walk away from my Xbox. I turned it off and walked in here, sat down. 5 minutes in the movie, I look over at Joe. This man's eyes are closed. She looks at me. I look at her. We just both just shake our heads and turn to look back at the TV. And then you wake up like maybe an hour in. You're like, "Oh, this is my favorite part." I was like, "What's going on, dude? Where have you been?" I was so mad. I was like, "You know what? Never mind. It was cool because me and her were like talking through it."
Nah, she's cool.
Yeah, she was dope.
Yeah. I met.
Good time.
Yeah.
That was like a 2-hour movie. What was that? Weird gremlin things.
Oh,
So
Labyrinth
weird.
with
The
David
Labyrinth.
Bowie.
Oh,
The movie's trippy.
nightmares.
The Goblins.
What was his name?
David Bowie.
David Bowie.
You have a David Bowie T-shirt.
Shh, I don't even know that. I have a David Bowie T-shirt.
Sing one David Bowie lyric right now.
What's that one song by him? Oh wait, you're such a fucking hoe. I don't know.
No, dude. That's Lil Pump. That's Lil Pump.
I'm kidding. Oh my god.
No, dude.
I'm done. I like after you told me that, like you don't even know the David Bowie song. I was like, I don't. I just like the shirt. I
I
was
thought
like,
you
let me
don't even know
listen
what
to
he
it.
looks like.
I do. He passed away, rest his soul. And I went and like I started listening. I listened to like all his albums. I just listened to it. I like a couple songs, but his genre didn't really speak
He's
to me.
groovy.
So I don't know.
The Black Star album is really good.
Yeah.
That's the one he released like literally like 2 days before he died.
Yeah.
And he had a song about him knowing he was gonna die in that
Really?
album, and then he died like 2 days after he released it.
And that hurts.
It's called let me look it up. I can't remember right now. I love that song. Talk, Zion, while I look this up.
I can't. I'm answering the snap thoughts.
David Bowie. There it is. Yeah. Black Star. I think it's called Labyrinth. Lazarus. It's called Lazarus.
Lazarus. You said Labyrinth.
Labyrinth. I can't give everything away.
Are you singing him?
Yeah, that's David Bowie.
You sound like down.
I sound down?
You sound like down. Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
There you go again. What was that movie?
He came on the podcast. Or was that my pipes?
He came on a podcast. Jesus.
All right, we're at an hour already. So we're going to wrap it up. This was a sad podcast, but I
like
think we
sad
said a lot of
podcasts.
stuff that a lot of people need to hear.
It was a vent. I needed to vent because I had a long day at work. I needed it. I
Yeah.
don't know why.
Please make music.
All right, guys. My album's coming out on the 21st. I'm kidding.
That's a lie. That's a lie. Don't.
I can't wait to make music. I really want to make some stuff that's make y'all happy and sad.
Okay, I said I'm wrapping up the podcast. Please stop talking.
Nah, I'm gonna rap for everybody real quick. No, I'm not.
Oh, dude, we should be like Shade 45. You have to do if you come on the show, you have to do a 16.
But I'm not about to do a 16-bar freestyle. Like Tyler. Did I actually you Tyler Creators? That was hilarious. Never mind. I'm not going to do that. He was talking about umbilical cord and stuff. Yeah, we're not going to do that. I can't freestyle. Actually, no, I can.
We're on the Joe Knows podcast, and I'm rapping like Outkast.
Oh.
I'm wearing an orange shirt, and you ain't.
Oh.
I don't know.
Just throw that away. Just
Throw it away.
Leave the music to me. I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
All right.